But usually, like, I have to think back to, like, I've got a pretty good memory in the first place, right? So this helps me a lot. So when I'm talking and somebody responds to something, I have to think back to what I said like a moment ago, or the start of the thought tangent and stuff like that, to remember where did that start, how did that start, what part might you be responding to, or this particular phrase being referenced to and stuff like that. It helps a lot that like I can recall information like that to begin with. But yeah, I find that when I'm talking to other streamers, unless they're still on the topic, they find it really difficult to remember what I might be replying to. Like, I'm also very lucky, I'm generally a fast typer. Like, to be fair, like in my personal time, like as I used to do touch typing, but because like I'm not doing this professionally or anything like that in like a business setting, touch typing sort of stuff, I don't really give a fuck if I've got some spelling errors. So the faster I type, the more errors I'm likely to have at the moment, as opposed to how it used to be. And if I can just stand down here away from stuff. Yeah, anyway, so you'll tend to notice that like I'll get a sentence out really, really fast, but it'll have like a bit of errors. Plus it also depends on if I'm on my phone or my computer. Because if I'm on my phone will autocorrect to some really fucking wild words that don't make any sense. And I'll be like, that's not what I wanted to say. That's not even remotely close to what I was trying to say. And then it will like, because it keeps autocorrecting to it, it thinks that I want to say that. But yeah, my brain works similarly. A lot of detective work on how we got here. Yeah, I honestly chop it up to being like, I spent a lot of time in my life reflecting back on my day and the things that I've said and things that I've done to make sure, like, is there anything I forgot to do? Is there anything that needs to be done? Like, how did this conversation pan out and stuff like that? Like, a lot of people say, oh, don't trust your memory for like emotions and feelings and stuff like that. But I tend to remember conversations pretty one-to-one. Like, not always 100%. I'm not fucking perfect or anything, but like, I generally remember how I felt and how they came across and like the words that we used and stuff like that. Times, smells, outfits, locations, all that stuff I remember really well. I remember stuff in high detail. So I used to spend like a lot of time, a lot of time like recollecting my day. So when I used to finish work, I used to go to gym, and then I'd come home, play games, and eventually I'd go to bed. And during that time frame, while I was doing all of that, I was recalling from the moment I woke up, what I did on the way to work, the things that I saw, all of what I did at work, all the things, all the conversations I had, all the interactions with customers, all the emails, all the written responses, all the purchases, documentation, accounting, everything. And I recall that until I fell asleep that following night. And yeah, so usually by the time I started my next day, I would remember if there was anything that I was missing, or if there was anything that needed to be done. So like as soon as I would turn up at work, I would automatically know, because of the night before, what I needed to do, in what order I needed to do it. And I'd usually have like a notebook with me, and I'd write everything down as soon as I got to work. And that way I couldn't forget what I had to do in what order. And then that way, as I had time throughout the day, I could work on the stuff and prioritize my day and let people know around me that this is what I've got on my plate to do. And where their tasks or priorities or assistance can be like sorted in and stuff. The same, Creepy, my girlfriend, and I were just talking about this. It's really draining. Yeah, it is really fucking emotionally and psychologically draining. However, I've always kind of had jobs that were like, I was doing the equivalent of 3 people's jobs in most places, or I was doing supervising or management, personal assistant stuff. Yeah. Probably like more so when I did management, supervision and stuff like that, this shit was like pretty important, because I had to like find out if I could assist people throughout the day with like their tasks and shit as well. sure mine is anxiety related though. Oh, I'm sure mine's like some kind of like coping mechanism. I'm certain of that too. Just because I like professionally was able to excel because of it doesn't mean that it's not like some kind of trauma response to something. I don't know. I'm getting hit by a lot of electricity here, and that's a problem. Also getting hit by a lot of fire, which I think I might be feeling more skilled at the moment. I think this is what that is. So, yeah, not sure. But yeah, look, I always say, like, look, if you've got something that, like, is either, like, a trauma response or an anxiety response or something like that, it sucks to have that, but if you can work out how you can use that to, like, professionally excel and stuff like that, like, in my case, my ability to retain all this fucking information every single day and recompile it every single night and, like, not really forget shit, like, that helped me with my workload, which helped me be able to take on more workload, which in this day and age isn't really viewed as a great thing, but, like, you know, at the time it allowed me to be able to have more responsibilities in my workplace and stuff like that. For some reason I thought you meant IRL with the lightning strikes. Oh man. That's fine. We'll come back to that guy over there in a moment. That's funny. No, I really need like health and shit, honestly. No, don't drop them. I don't have that much health left. It's not, I'll do the same and feel like I'm taken advantage of. Yeah, look, in a sense, like, when you take on more responsibility at a place, like, there's a lot of people speaking out about this stuff these days because it's a very outdated mindset that used to exist. That, you know, it used to be if you took on more responsibility, you could earn more, or you could have more, like, I don't know, qualifications and all sorts of stuff in a business, and it used to be really good. Nowadays, it's just seen as a way for a lot of companies to kind of overuse, like, 1 or 2 employees for less money, and kind of like, yeah, it's more of like a punishment these days, because there's no real escalation pathway for a lot of employees and stuff. But it also depends on the company. Like, some companies are really great and they reward hard workers and support them and all sorts of stuff. And unfortunately, just a lot of places don't. And that's when it is actually like advantage taking and stuff. Multiple people's jobs for the same pay. Everything is backwards. It's frustrating. I feel that so much, Mad Dog. Are you sure we aren't like living the same life? Because like I'm starting to question things. No, I used to have the same thing. So in one of the places that I did, I had, let's see, I was I can't remember what, I think it was customer sales or something like that. Like, I was retail sales, I was administration manager, workshop supervisor, returns technician. I gotta go back, I don't have mana. I was returns technician, call out technician, accounts assistant, and PA to the owner of the company. And like, I was paid pretty well, but I definitely wasn't paid as well as I should have been. So I was probably paid higher than a standard employee, but I was doing like probably like 5 jobs. So I should have been probably getting at least the equivalent of like probably at least 3 people's wages or something like that for that kind of thing. Especially since like some of them are broad spectrum management, sort of management supervisor. Oh, I was store supervisor as well. So I had to do opening and closing and shit too. That was the other thing. So yeah, I had like responsibilities like, you know, opening and closing a business, balancing tills, balancing books, pays, managing staff, administrative duties, working on building. Oh yeah, I was build technician as well. I built computers and laptops and shit, as well as repairing them, as well as doing on-sites for them. And yeah, I did a lot of shit. Training Tibet. Yeah, no, I didn't really get much in the way of training. Like, I didn't really have much formal training. I just kind of like learnt as I went kind of thing. I also just was really observant. So a lot of the stuff like I picked up by watching, which meant, of course, no formal qualifications, which of course means, you know, you don't get paid as much. That's the old workaround when you're in charge of training. Oh yeah, you know, I had HR duties as well for employment interviewing and training of new staff. And also I made coffees and did cleaning too. So that was all one company. That was the one place that I worked for 10 years. That was like, yeah, that was the extremely sexist place that just wanted me to be a clerical phone answering operator kind of thing. But I kind of proved that I had other abilities and could manage a lot of stuff. Sounds like you were the company. Yeah, it felt that way. It really did. Also, that's a mid joke. That was some good timing on that. Yeah, no, I really did feel like I was being trained to take over the business. I really did feel like that was what was happening. So that's how I treated it. I was like, okay, well, look, this elderly couple, they're getting older, they own this business, and maybe they're trying to like retain somebody that can like take over, knows everything. Because I kind of had a little bit in everything. They were even training me in how to do BAS, which is like a tax lodging for businesses. I don't know how to explain that better than that because I just don't know the words. But they were teaching me how to do that towards the end as well, which would have meant I would have had like a shit ton of legal responsibility over how their financial reports and stuff were done. But yeah, no, it was just kind of like not the case. That was the place I got injured at. That was the place that fucked over my back, hip, and neck, and they wouldn't provide me with support of like a junior assistant or something like that to help lift things for me. So I was unable to keep up with my workload once I became injured in their establishment. So yeah, not great. But I don't really understand their logic for it. Is like you train somebody, they have so much skills and responsibility, they could essentially replace you. Like I did a lot of replacement when they took holidays. Like if they went on holidays, I could do a lot of the stuff, like a lot of people could report to me. But yeah, no, essentially, like the company itself, they got flooded and they went through financial hardships and stuff, and a lot happened with that place. But ultimately, when I got injured and stuff like that, that was kind of it. And they just kind of treated me like I was kind of like, I don't know, you know when like a device breaks, and in this day and age a lot of people just go, oh well, I'll just replace it. Like, that's what it felt like. I felt very replaceable. Yeah. Injuries basically put targets on people's backs. Yeah, it does. They were, what do you call it, like anti-disabilities and stuff too. So, like, I think they were kind of like harden up cupcake kind of thing towards me, and they were like, oh, you'll either get better or you'll get out of here kind of thing. They were awful company. But yeah, I don't work for them anymore, so I can say whatever the fuck I want about their shit practices. But I don't know, I kind of, in a way, I did look forward to the potential of like maybe taking over their company and stuff, because like they used to spin this tale of like somebody that worked, I don't know what it is. Okay, so let me try to remember this, because this is what they used to say to me every now and then. They used to talk about this guy who had a son they had two sons or something like that, and one guy started from the beginning, and he started like, you know, in the packing and like the milking and all the fucking everything sort of stage, and he worked in every part of the business until he eventually took over, right? And he understood everything. But they had like another son or something who they tried to put in a position of management first or something. Not the company, I don't think they had the sons or whatever, but I think this is just some fable thing that they knew. And anyway, they basically had tried to put this other person in that didn't have any experience in the business, didn't know how long it took to milk a cow, or didn't know how long it took to like package up and ship things, and therefore couldn't operate the business properly and stuff. So this is why I was under the impression that they were potentially training me to kind of like take over, because like, well, I wasn't like the relation and stuff, I wasn't this like son or whatever, but like I had started at the beginning. Like I'd started with like making coffees and sweeping floors, answering phones, greeting customers, and then I was all the way up to basically like lodging their tax for them and shit. So like, yeah, I don't know. They did have a fair bit of trust in me though, which is at least a small snippet of niceness. Like I was trusted with like, you know, responsibilities, petty cash, and like the management of like their books and tills and all the things. So, I mean, obviously that also meant responsibility was on my shoulders if something went wrong. But I was an integral person anyway, so it didn't fucking matter. I wasn't gonna be stealing from. I'm not the kind of person to steal from somebody to begin with. So, mate, I kind of need to go this way first. You can keep going that way, but we're going over here. What? Oh, this is that gold area. Yeah. I don't know. I think they probably had like a good judge of character in me, but I definitely got overworked, overused, kind of underpaid, undervalued kind of thing. That was probably the first place where I felt undervalued in my abilities and stuff. And I kind of like, at least for a few years after that place, I kind of undervalued myself when I tried for other jobs and stuff. But yeah, it took a while, and eventually ironically, I found value in myself and my abilities and stuff like that when I was finally like really broken, both mentally and physically, and unemployed for like a long period of time and stuff. It was only then that I found value in myself, which is really sad. But at the same time, like, at least I eventually found it, kind of thing. And I'm like, no, I'm definitely super fucking capable. And I'm definitely, I don't know, worth more than that. I'm worth more than that treatment for sure. But my skills are worth more. I always feel undervalued wherever I go. I think that's the other thing too, is in like medical field and stuff like that. I feel like some places kind of like feel like they can kind of like hit down kind of thing, like punch down, be like, oh, well, where else are you gonna work kind of thing. So like most places do lowball to begin with, but I've heard some really great stories of people being like, somebody's tried to like lowball them and stuff, and they've just like stood up with it, gone and found somewhere else instead, and obviously like the other companies like eventually like, I don't know, falling apart and stuff. I don't think medical fields do that. Financial entrapment, it is a bit that. Oh, I'm standing on a trap, I think. Mate, live her. Yeah. No, if anybody's ever looking for like a job and it says between A price and B price, just know that they're going to offer you the lower price most times, even if you're valued at the higher price.
I can't carry anymore.
Like, as much as you may need a job, in most cases it's better to stand up for yourself in the beginning and ensure that you get paid what you're worth and stuff, even if it's really hard to do that and stuff. Grim shield. Lol. I almost missed his chest just then. Imagine the work you and I and other like-minded people could get done. I've always thought of stuff like that too. I know I missed that message before. I just saw it then. I probably gotta go back, don't I? Yeah. I gotta go back. That's fine. I want to check out that ceremonial bar. I should have taken that with me on that go. It's fine. But, there's always like a few people that are just, this is what I said the other day, there's some people are just amazing. This is literally why I said like a lot of people just don't see themselves for how amazing they are and stuff. I'm not necessarily like straight up just talking about myself, but there's a lot of people out there that do incredible work very hard, and are just like, I don't know, used for it kind of thing. And it really sucks. This is why I sort of don't mind that there's a whole generation of people at the moment that are kind of like trying to change the work environment for that, trying to make it better and stuff. Yeah. Oh, don't worry, I'm the same kind of thing. in every place that I've worked, I have had more than one role. Like, this is why I was saying that I'm that person that's had the 20 years experience at 17. I'm not joking. You know, yeah, some of us exist, and it's, if you fit into that category, and if an employer wants somebody that's got that 20 years experience at like much younger than you should be, what they're basically saying is they want somebody that has more experience and is willing to be paid less for said experience. It's kind of sick. I've seen 1 or 2 jobs since I was 15. Yeah, let me have a bit of my drink. Hold on. Okay, so my first job, while I was still in high school, I had for 10 years. While I had that job, which was that job I just mentioned before that had so many fucking roles, I also had 2 other jobs. I did babysitting on the side, which I hate kids, so that didn't last very long, and I did modeling at the same time, because that was shit I could do in my free time. And then after that place, I kind of needed... Oh, there's a man back here. After that place, I had probably 6 or so months of unemployment, because a lot of employers wouldn't believe that somebody could come out of high school and hold on to a job for 10 years. It looked very sus, especially the amount of work that I did looked very sus. Which, whatever. Like, I literally actually said to one employer when they're like, oh, that looks a little like, you know, a little fake kind of thing. I don't know what her exact words were, but that's what she basically said. And I'm like, really? Because I said, I don't really care if you don't believe me. I did it. And, you know, you can believe what you want, basically. I kind of like had a bit of an attitude with that employment agency, because I'm like, I literally did the thing. I'm not fudging a fucking resume or anything. Like, these are my actual credentials and shit. And she just called bullshit. And I'm like, well, that's fine if you don't want to work hard, love. You know? I don't know. But anyway, after that place, I had, I know I had 2 jobs. I had 2 jobs at the same time, and then I added a 3rd one to it. I was like, I did, what did I do? I did call center shit, which I hated, because I have phone anxiety, so that was horrible. I had, I did office stuff for like a warehousing place or whatever, office and account shit. And what else did I have? I had, oh, I went back to being a builds, on-call builds technician, and what else was that? I was like builds technician and like repair or something like that. I can't quite remember that one. But it was, I was on call, so like I only ever had to turn up if they had something for me to like build. So that was fine. I built a lot of laptops in that time in the warehouse for me. Yeah. I don't mind warehouse stuff. I find that it's a little more relaxed, but I found that like the female administrative side was very catty. It's kind of bullshit kind of stuff. I don't really like any offices that are like literally will be divided by gender. Like that's some childish shit, realistically. And what else I have? I had a couple of years where I got really sick there from my Crohn's, so I couldn't work. Which of course, you know, anytime you have a big old space on your resume, they're like, oh, I don't know. Even if like you've had multiple jobs and so much experience, it's like, oh, I don't know. Anyway, got better from that shit. I did a lot of, I did some certificates, and I did a lot of temp work stuff during that time. I got a lot of experience under my belt while I was sick, while I was dying from Crohn's. To be able to get back into work and stuff. It's like a click high school at the moment where I work. Yeah, well, I've heard hospitals are very much like that. I've heard some of the bitchiest women are nurses. No offense to anybody that is a nurse that isn't actually a bitch, but I've heard that it's very bitchy. I couldn't stand that kind of crap. Don't run in there, love. Look, I don't know. I listen to a lot of people's life stories and stuff, so this is just what I know of them. What's I had? I got into... I finally went back into just one job. I had like another like 4 or so years kind of sabbatical after like all the health issues, after all the qualifications and shit, I think. And so I would have you record that. That's fine. It's I don't know where you'd use that. What did you have that for, like a ringtone or something like that? Have that come up with, like, when somebody like pages you for the hospital or something like that? It's like catty fucking bitch nurses, something like that. Oh man, that'd be awful. I mean, you could do with it whatever the fuck you want, but yeah, if you want that, that's fine. But yeah, as far as I know, there's like the last place I had work, I actually really liked what I did. I did a lot of work there. I was under a lot of hats again. But I liked my co-workers. Well, not the female ones, but I liked the guy co-workers I had. There was this like one like older dude. He was, oh, this thing's hitting me. That's what's killing me. I'm like, why am I dying? Yeah, no, I worked with this like one older dude, actually several older dudes, because I managed like 7 managers up and down Australia, up and down Queensland and New South Wales coast, but and like hundreds of sites and hundreds of employees under them. But yeah, no, they were lovely. They were such great guys. I just used to love, like, anytime they'd turn up, even just to grab a coffee or grab some paperwork and stuff, it was like just 5 minutes of pleasantry. It was so great. They were just good guys, you know. I still miss them. But yeah, the office that I actually worked in, the office people themselves were terrible existences of human beings. They really were. So I love what I would. What? I love what I would. Could you do without a bunch of co-workers? What? Hold on. Hold on. Let me read that without having a stroke. Hold on. I love what I could do without a bunch of co-workers. Alright. Yeah, no, I think I got that. Yeah, no, that's the hardest part, is when you enjoy what you do but your co-workers make it like awful kind of thing. Like I had a round robin of different people in that place, but like a lot of like the managers and stuff were like really lovely. Really lovely people. But the rest of the people, the office staff and whatever, they were horrible. Management was horrible. Yeah, that was the place that like psychologically just destroyed me. Which is funny when I say that, because like I loved what I did. I really did. But yeah, just the head office and stuff, which is awful. So I'm getting there, to be honest. What, the mentally destroyed from your workplace? I don't know. I'm talking about the level of mental destruction that like ceases the ability to allow you to function as a human for like a couple of years. Because after that place, I wasn't able to do like basic things like, you know, get out of bed and take care of myself, and I don't know, dressing and eating and stuff like that was a challenge every single day, stuff like that. For 2 years. I actually didn't know it was 2 years. I thought only 1 year had passed when I was in that state. And then my partner actually clarified it had actually been 2 years. And yeah, that was probably the most soul-crushing thing, was that I had actually been like that for 2 years. That, you know, that destroyed me that badly and stuff. I recommend to anybody that's like loves what they're doing but like are working with people that are awful, and they start to find like it's more so like shit doesn't add up and stuff, just leave. Just straight up just get out while you can. I'm just gonna go down here and I'm gonna go back up that side because I don't know if I've killed everybody down this way. Whatever. It's like Monday to Wednesday basically. That's on your time off too, isn't it? Like your like sleep sort of schedule, more so like your holiday sort of thing. Not holiday, but like your down week. Yeah, that's not good. When you're getting to a point where like you spend all of your spare time asleep, it's not good. I took a 5-hour payout to get here. Payout, pay increase, pay down. Just explain that one for me. Because like as far as I understand, I'm thinking that you took a $5 payout to be able to like rest today. That's what I'm reading. Pay cut. Okay, yeah. I don't know. I just have to assume that whatever the circumstances that you're under, that was something that you could like deal with at the time. But like for how long? And how much longer do you have that pay cut, or is that like permanent? Does that go back up at any point in time, or is this kind of the workaround that the hospital's got? Is it, you know, girlfriend has health issues too, not doing well financially. Yeah, this is why I said I think everybody's kind of in that same boat, because like, you can be as stable as anything, and all it takes is like a medical thing happening or something breaking, and all of a sudden no stability. I say this every year, that we try very hard every year to make sure that we have enough money from February to April. My birthday's in April, and most years I don't get to celebrate my birthday. I don't normally get to do anything because we can't afford it. Something usually breaks in February that's around about $1.5 to $2.5 grand. So even if we have got surplus savings, it doesn't fucking matter, because we'll go through it